but both vying for that one title. Winner of their debut match in MPL Malaysia Season 15. Let's jump on into the land of Dawn.
Let's see how JP Niners are looking to kind of open up this match, right? Because there's multiple ways to actually adhere to the rules, or if not the limitations that are already being set by Team Ray. Number one is that mid lane potential gank that we should be expecting from Virgin as well as Dinesh, right? If they can get an early kill onto Warlord, things are going to be fine. But if it's just a 2v2 matchup, this is where it gets really interesting, because Warlord and Mal cannot afford to make any mistakes because Dinesh completely outranges them, and Virgil must maintain how many butterfly stacks he has on him during his time within the lane.
That's why they brought Sapat to the mid side just in case if there's any contest, but JP Niners have brought enough space just for Zidane to get the Little Wanderer away, so you get the slight lead. He's going to get the Gold Crab down bot as well. JP Niners half a step ahead of Virgi.
I think in this game as well, Mal is going to play a very important role in the early stages of not only tracking Virgi's positioning on the map, but also Lazir on this Hayabusa. He's going to be looking to get snowballs wherever possible. So whatever information JP is able to play around, the better their positioning will be.
Yeah. Looking at the emblems, right? Two things that come to notice straight. Pull yourself together coming in from Trill. A more common emblem being pulled together. Tank emblems. But it's more common to see pull yourself together on people like Cho who are pretty dependent on getting that, big insect play with the Way of the Dragon into Flicker to determine the direction. Sapat, Wilderness Blessing instead of going of Tenacity. So there is minor differences, and hopefully Virgi doesn't get punished too hard for not having Tenacity himself.
Yeah. And we did see the application of that, right? You rotate past as a Hilda to get out of the lane. Orla has to pop the Purifier already thanks to Lazir baiting it out with the shadows. Zidane still working on the turtle. They're going to try and just stagger this as much as they can with the revitalized. Mouse survives. Turtle goes over to JP Niners. But unfortunately, for Team Ray, they just lost Virgi and now they might lose Lazir. There's a beacon, RWM from Dinesh just to save his jungler. But can he save EV too? The answer is yes. EV gets out, but purple buff sniped by Zidane.
Winning scenario for JP Niners. Really didn't have to put too much effort. I think they were already winning like 3v4 to a certain degree. Like some of the players, I mean, Zidane, to be fair, Zidane wasn't even in the fight at all. It was just 3 people holding them back, and Sapa was like, hey, I decided to join, and Lolios is like, I'm chilling down bot side.
Early game, Team Ray just doesn't have a lot of burst to play around. So when they're against a Gatot Hilda duo with Revitalize, it's very unlikely they're going to take them down. I feel like Team Ray may have overcommitted a little bit there when they weren't able to get a good enough position. The JP Niners were able to get that turtle and first blood, but still not too big of a gold lead yet. Team Ray just needs to avoid making any further problems.
I mean, we say that, but I think that the lane is pretty scuffed for EV at this point. Until he gets that Thunder Belt, and maybe even once he gets a second item, do we expect things to happen?
Wow, an attempt onto Sapa's life. He's going to flicker into the bush, gain some health back, and Zidane will show up with the help of Warlord AOG to follow up. Don't really need it. As Virgi goes down, Eevee gets brought back, tries to run away, and Lazir ends up going down. JP Niners with another 2.
I like how JP Niners had something in their supermarket cart and they just decided like, hey, that looks better, and went for Lazir instead. Just let Eevee go. It's like, I don't need you anymore. I don't want to play with you anymore. And yeah, again, JP Niners has way more pressure. It was a good attempted catch by Virgi, but again, not enough burst. And then the rest of the team just came by and ran them down.
Yeah, no, I think they've got him beat at this point, right? This purple buff control is out of... Oh, hold on.
EVA missed his dash and get the RWM, try to punish JP Niners for overextending. Purple buff is going to be secured by Zidane as the backline, while Virgi getting pushed away by the front lines. Really nothing much the Team Ray could do.
Yeah, and honestly, all of this is because of a winning scenario, allowing mid lane to have priority from this point onwards, and the same goes for the EXP, right? And Zidane has just been reaping the fruit of these 2 lanes doing well, right? He got pretty much 75% of the good turret plating on top side, gets a free turtle, a free purple buff at the same time. It's just all going well.
Yeah, at this point, Team Ray needs to shift their approach. I don't think they can really afford to put too many resources into Mal and Sapat anymore. Ideally, Virgi finds someone in the backline. Zidane would be the best, and then they just focus all their resources on him, but Niners not making it easy for them. They are now in control of the map.
Yeah, we need to see Team Ray kind of split up, right? Every time they make contact with JP, it's an instant rotate to the opposite side, because if you're making contact so soon after the last team fight, it means that other things on the map are available, like buffs, like potential turrets and plating as well. I think that Eevee was doing the right thing, making that initial push. I think he could have rotated mid a little sooner. Lazier should have instantly ran to the top side and started taking all the jungle that was available for the JP Niners at that point of time. And right now, I think that JP is playing a much stronger game because of the tempo that they're creating for themselves. They zoned out Harith for at least 2 of the minions down bot side and got entire turret plating for Loliel's in the meantime. And look, Sky Piercer.
Just fundamentals from JP Niners. Nothing fancy, just pure, solid basics. The Team Ray, they did make some movements down bot to force Loliel away from the lane. They get the bot tier 1 at the cost of a purple buff once more, so Lazier has to play from behind.
I'm loving the movements from JP Niners right now, basically taking whatever they can on the map because they know they're in control. They're not going to give Team Ray any sort of space to play around, and you can already see the way that they gank the lanes even is specifically to cut off escape routes.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough spot for Team Ray to be in. They need some emphasis on this bottom side. Virgil will go for the recall as, I mean, Supa is deep in the jungle. He just zoned out Lazier again.
Yep, and now he just has to bolt to the top side of the map. There's just nothing you can really do. If he does make any contact, head down to the bottom side, right? Again, you can only be in so many places at once, and Subbot is trying to make sure he has tabs on him. In the meantime, right, Eevee, until he gets that Thunderbell, he is not going to be at much use. If not, goes full tank, and then maybe he might be more relevant early on.
At this stage, Team Ray definitely cannot contest this turtle. They just have to try and play the opposite side of the map instead, but JP Niners has already pushed up the bottom tier 1 as well, so Trap can even extend out to get a little bit more farm for himself. The gold lead slowly getting larger and larger with each second.
Don't forget about the lane swap here as well. Loliel's, you will be able to take that tier 1 up top side, and they need to protect this purple buff. As long as they hold that mid tier 1, they have something to fall back to, and I don't think JP Niners have what it takes to dive them just yet, unless they truly make a mistake.
Team Ray's hands are tied because somebody's doing such a good job in just checking all the bushes, sandbagging Team Ray. They will get a flicker kick into an RWM. The purple buff still somehow, I believe, secured by Zidane once more in Mr. Chaos. AOG from Mao to escape this, and Eevee once more sacrificed. Executed by Sky Piercer. JP Niners disengage.
What was the call there? Fortunately, Lazier was not in position. Ends up getting punished by Subbot, forcing a recall. Oh no!
Finish. Thankfully, Ulule didn't have enough energy for one more shot. But you just lose your jungle again.
Yeah, this is just JP Niners closing the vice grip on Team Ray. They have not surrendered any advantage at all. And I like that there is a discipline in their aggression. They know that if they give up a kill or two to Team Ray, there's actually a chance for them to make a bounce back off of that alone, thanks to this Hilda being a very early game eccentric hero, needs to be snowballing. And JP Niners is running with that momentum. They're not giving it up at all.
And they don't mind sacrificing tier 1s if necessary to do so, right? Because they're going to get so much off of this. There we go. It's going to be the Holy Shielding exploding down on the bot side. And once again, orange buff falls into the hands of Zidane, who's already generated a 2-level lead, which he will maintain for a while against Lazier on this Hayabusa.
Lazier is starving. And thankfully, they do have Eevee as the Badang, so he can still function with minimal economy. He's going to give one of the lanes over to Lazier, who needs to catch up. But that means the Team Ray will have no chance in contesting this Lord at all. They will just have to turtle it out.
Even if you turtle it out at this point, it's going to be really rough. But Team Ray genuinely needs to get shutdowns to catch up at this rate. And Niners are still really, really bulky. They have to keep pushing waves. They have to keep drawing attention away so that Trap can at least get some farm in, because otherwise the game is going to go exactly how it's been going.
They need Trap to get his 3 items. Once that Holy Crystal is done for Trap, that's when they can look for these bigger fights, right? Because as of right now, JP Niners can basically face tank all the damage he has to offer, even with the Zombie Force active.
Every single buff just being stolen over and over again by the Niners. They're not giving Team Ray anything. This is straight up some unfair distribution of wealth happening on the land of Dawn.
It's reached a point where JP9ers are just walking into Team Ray's home and taking whatever they want.
Pretty much.
So whatever Team Ray owns belongs to the Niners. RWM, used very prematurely. Then they had to use so much just to clear out the way. The Lord will be taken care of with the help of the Zaman Force. But still, JP9ers getting both tier 2s, bottom, turret, still going to be threatened with one more wave coming in. JP9ers decided to stick around and try their luck a little bit. With 4 members around, the inhibitor will fall regardless.
Interesting. Very interesting, actually. JP9ers opted to say, instead of taking all of your tier 2s, I want to guarantee at least, at the bare minimum, a bottom inhibitor. And now that bottom inhibitor is wide open, this could pose a couple of problems to Team Ray. Number one, luckily the Lord is spawning on the bottom side, right? So at least they always have to show themselves there. This could be a potential pinch coming in from JP9ers once they show themselves on that side of the map. If not, set up a slow push on top side and force them for the long haul.
Yeah, I think it's pretty smart for Niners to prioritize the inhibitor because like it's always going to be easy for them to get the remaining tier 2 in comparison, right? In fact, it's already gone. And the reason they were able to force that out was because like off screen, Sapat was actually chasing Virgie for ages, like literally ages, was not allowing the Cho to recall back home, and that's why Niners could just position without worrying about a kick.
At this point, we need to see EV to be the secondary engager here. If Virgie finds another kick like that, EV either needs to follow up, if not catch somebody else, whether it be Loliel's. Warlord's a little hard because I did see him buy a Winter Crown, so probably it has to be Zidane.
Yeah, that and also Warlord has a Purify, right? So double layer of protection, but for Loliel, rocking that Flicker is a bit more vulnerable. But to find the setup is pretty hard because you do get staggered by Sapat and Mao if they even catch sight of you. Can't even walk out of the map at this point.
What's even on brand for Niners right now is they're 9K ahead of Team Ray, you know. Not intentional, definitely, but hey, that looks pretty good.
Hey, wait until they get into the 99er zone.
If a team is 99K ahead of their opponents, I don't even think they're playing MLBB anymore.
4.9 is fine, but EV should pass the Flicker out. Oh, that's
Oh, they're gonna try to execute him. Again, Warlord lifted back. Boom, Sky Piercer. Loliel cashes in on a second one as the Lord gets soloed by Zidane. They are in the base already, so if anything, Lazir might have to consider coming back home. We'll make the recall now, but there's a mid-wave crashing in.
They've done everything right. They've set it up, and now they're forcing Lazir to actually show up in this lane one more time.
Maybe he's going to be the difference maker, starting with Shadow Kill, but the damage minuscule to JP9ers, who just shrugs it off.
Oh, man. If you don't have the Lazir in that fight, you shouldn't be walking up that far in the first place. This is, I mean, I think that JP9ers has got him beat at this point. They put him in a really tough position. I don't see them getting out of this.
They're literally between a rock and a hard place. I don't think Team Ray has what it takes to bounce back from this. They have a good counter-engage. Their base defense actually isn't bad with Badang Eve, but they're so far behind at this point that I don't even think that matters.
Yeah, JP9ers just put Team Ray in a headlock. Diamond Force use. So he's being held on. They put the wall down. RWM. Now they use the Diamond Force trap. Finding a good angle. Sapat does end up going down. Lord should be taken care of. Mao now is the next target in line. Trap doing some work alongside Dinesh to keep this siege back. But Niners still ends up getting mid inhibitor.
And that's the goal difference right there. The fact that only Sapat died, I mean, great. But now TR wants to look for a little bit more. JP, they back away. They had their focus split on who to actually get. Yes, it's a 9K gold lead, but it doesn't mean that, you know, the priority ladder is suddenly changed. You still need a majority of their members to be focusing the same target.
Uh-oh. He's trying to Warlord. Crimson Beacon. Bring Virgie back. Zidane in his face. And Eevee is going to suffer the same fate also with Loliel showing up. Eevee now is going to go down. Executor. Don't recall that, buddy. That's not a safe place. JP9ers finds another punish.
I'm actually really impressed by the discipline from JP9ers this game, right? We have a lot of players here that are known for being somewhat aggressive, but it does feel like they're communicating. The synergy is there. Like, they all go in together, they engage at the right times. Loliel isn't even overextending himself.
This is going to try to assassinate Loliel with a shadow kill. Winter Crown, though, will deny that as they lose Dinesh in the back line. The assassination comes on the Sapat trap. Blows up Loliel. But now it's down to Virgie and Lazir. And there's mini waves coming in. JP9ers, they should have enough damage as Virgie goes down. Lazir, last man alive. clears out the wave in time, but the Fresh One Eevee needs to get rid of the cannon and cannot do it in time. JP Niners draws first blood.
Honestly.